lovers, the moon is a thing of beauty. But to this man it is a deadly curse. When the moon is full, this miserable wretch turns into a hairy, snarling half-man, half-beast. Prowls the night, his fangs thirsty for human blood. He is a werewolf.
Hello, and welcome to the Werewolf by Night podcast, the show where we talk about Marvel's number one lycanthrope, Jack Russell, a.k.a. the Werewolf, a.k.a. the Beast, a.k.a. the Shaggy One, a.k.a. Russell Jackson. I'm your co-host, Matt. Sorry, should I do that again?
Yes. I'm sorry. It's just too funny. All right. Okay. Serious times.
I'm your co-host, Matt Howell.
I'm your other co-host, Jacob Balcom.
Thanks for joining us this week, listeners. We are just down to 2 final episodes. This is one of those 2. This is the penultimate. That means the next to the last episode of regular stuff. We're still going to have some special things for you at the end, but the series is running out of issues. And you can decide after tonight's episode whether or not that's a good thing. Right, Jacob?
Well, yeah.
Yes. Just to recap from last week, we are doing those top 3s. And we've gotten some responses. We'd love to get some more. It'd be cool to have, a bigger data set. Obviously, we're scientists here. This is not just people fucking around.
No.
So, yeah, send those in. And by the way, if you are going to send in your top 3s, which is like top 3 villains, top 3 storylines, top 3 moments, top 3 covers, please bear in mind, I did not mention this, that those are in order to me. So just to be clear, it's not just 3 random.
It's ranked.
It's ranked. Thank you.
Okay. Yes. All right.
I thought that should be made explicit.
Okay.
Now we can have that explicit sticker on this episode.
People love rules.
Yes, I do. I love rules so much. So that covers that. Last episode, Jacob and I were talking about the great Pablo Marcos, and we were kind of saying, Jacob said, I'm pretty sure he did all of the Tales of the Zombie stories, which Steve Gerber wrote. I hardly neglect Steve Gerber. He was so great. But there was a couple of notable instances. I think you'd want me to mention these artists because we love them. The story wrapped as a 3-part story that was written by Tony Isabella and co-scripted by Chris Claremont. And that was drawn by, respectively, the 3 parts, Virgilio Redondo, Young Montano, and Ron Wilson. And,
holy shit.
Yeah, and Alcala inked chapters 1 and 2, and Marcos inked chapter 3.
Fucking all-stars.
Yeah, so I mean, even it's not Pablo Marcos, but it's there's no slouches on that list there on the bench.
Holy shit. Yeah. No, I'm glad you clarified that.
Yeah. Yes, so that's that. Well, we've got a 2-part story here to wrap up the series, and this is Werewolf by Night number 42. For the cover, we have a new artist that's never done a cover for us before. This one is pull dated January of 1977. So this series made it 5 years, right? 72 was when it started, I believe.
Yep.
So had a good long run. Let's say that. Let's frame things positively.
Yes. Positively, this had a long run, lots of great issues.
Mm-hmm. Great artists came and went, and just focus on the good stuff. It's like a eulogy. You just want funny stories and beer and maybe a couple songs. Let's not focus on the time that he, left you stuck out in the middle of the desert with no gas in the car and stole your girlfriend in high school, whatever. Forget all that.
Oh.
So here we are with a new artist, Dave Cockrum. Jacob, I know you've mentioned Cockrum before. I don't really know his stuff at all.
Well, I mean, okay. So interestingly, he was born in Pendleton, Oregon.
Wow.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
He's probably one of 5 people that were in the town at that time.
Probably went to the Roundup as a kid.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, this is a Eastern Oregon ranching town. So it's a small place where there's a big statewide rodeo every year.
Yeah, really big rodeo called the Roundup.
Yeah.
Have you been to that, man?
God, no.
Oh, I have. It's great.
I mean, not my people.
No.
Let's put
not
that
my people either. But
politely.
No, there's good things about it.
Okay.
But
I'm not into bull's nuts like you are. So.
Well, you know me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dave Cockrum, he had his first Marvel credit was inking the cover of Where Monsters Dwell number 18 in November of 72. And he's worked since then. His big claim to fame, of course, is in July of 75 with Giant Size X-Men #1, where him and Len Wein revamped the X-Men, create a ton of new characters like Storm, Nightcrawler, Colossus. You know, it's a big deal. Let's see, by January of 77, his main book is Uncanny X-Men, but he does a ton of covers as well, like a lot of covers. This month, he does the covers for The Champions, Daredevil, Hulk, Marvel Team Up, Master of Kung Fu, Omega the Unknown, and this cover for Werewolf by Night #42. So he's a busy guy.
Was Where Monsters Dwell a reprint
Yes.
thing? Okay.
Yeah, it's mostly reprinting a lot of Atlas era stuff.
That's what I would guess.
Yeah. So I feel like we've got some great artists lately that have done some really unremarkable work on the covers for this book.
I agree.
Because this is maybe not Dave Cochran's best.
No. So what we're dealing with here, there's a black background with a big yellow explosion. And then there's a big mass of like Kirby Crackle and Plug plasma. And it has like Dr. Octopus tentacles and Spider-Man's web shooters around it, which I think is like science-y equipment. I think I know what that is, but the fact that I had to look at it for a few minutes and guess was not really great.
No.
In the foreground, meanwhile, the werewolf is diving towards Iron Man, who has fallen to the ground and is kind of in a defensive position. So it says, Beastman versus Iron Man. Can the victor prevent the birth of a monster? So that big gelatinous, whatever that thing is in the background that's got sciencey stuff on it, that's the monster that's being birthed. The beast looks like he has his eyes closed. I don't know if someone forgot to color his eyes in.
Oh, it's so weird. Like, that's the weirdest part of this cover. Why does he have his eyes closed?
He's using his sense of smell exclusively. His nose is white on my cover.
Yeah, his nose is white on the digital version too. His claws are on point.
Yeah, his claws are on point this whole issue. I mean, that's Pearl aside, but I did note that actually. You know, his green pants are more of a olive army fatigue green than the Kelly green. Mm-hmm. Just not important. I just note this. So Iron Man, got to be honest, man. Before the movie, I hated Iron Man. My entire life, I thought Iron Man was a chump. I never liked him. I never read any books that he was in. For the most part, I thought he was a loser. I don't get, like, this is a perfect example. Like, I don't get how it's a suit of armor, but it moves fluidly and it looks like flesh. Like, how before the Extremis storyline, before they kind of do like nanotech, like explaining all this stuff away with a modern brain, how does he move? Like, there's no joints.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of problems.
He's got a six-pack going through his armor.
Yeah, that's not to think of those things.
Okay.
That's not to think too hard about them.
Yeah. Ever since I read The Ultimates, which if you folks aren't familiar, that's the rebooted kind of new telling of the Marvel Universe for modern times. And whoever the artist was for The Ultimates made Iron Man's headgear like a huge like unit, like almost like a drone or something like that. And the artist in the back matter was explaining, like, I never understood when I saw Iron Man, you know, in his 616 incarnation, his helmet's not big enough to fit his head. So either he has a pinhead or, you know what I mean? Or the helmet's like thin as like skin, like, you know, like a gelatinous skin. So now whenever I see that, I think about how his head can't fit in there when I see old Iron Man.
Yeah, no, I know. Not my favorite character. Still not my favorite character.
Nope.
But
Civil War didn't help.
No, Civil War didn't help. But after Civil War, I think that's when Matt Fraction came on Iron Man and kind of, you know, I don't know about redeemed him, but it's a pretty good run. That's actually the only real modern run of Iron Man that I'm familiar with is Fractions.
Who was he paired with as an artist?
I can't remember now.
Was it like Granov? Like, was it that digital painting like kind of thing? Like Adi Granov? No,
I don't think so. Yeah, I know. It's totally escaped my mind. It's gonna come back to haunt me.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
Yep. So I don't have a lot to say about this cover.
No, it's not great. We should jump in.
Cool.
All right. So yeah, the opening page, title of the story is The Marauder and the Man of Iron. And our creator credits for this issue are Doug Benchwriter, Don Perlin, artist, Deborah James, letterer, George Rousseau, colorist, and Archie Goodwin, editor. So this is the team that we've had pretty consistently the last few issues. It's nice to have George back as colorist, Deborah James still killing it with lettering. Yeah, it's a great team. And also we got Archie Goodwin again as editor. So I like the title, how the title of this looks, even though, I mean, I don't know, I guess font nerds would maybe be mad that every other word seems to be in a different font. But I like how the word Marauder looks, and I like the way the iron looks with some rivets in it. Makes it look all tough. I don't know. I know it's busy and weird, but that I kind of liked that.
Yeah. I guess now that you're pointing out that a font nerd would probably say it looks like a ransom note.
Yes.
At least Don did something.
Yeah. No, Don did a lot on this page. Yeah, we see the werewolf jumping onto like a fire escape, and the narration. There's a lot of narration here. I'm going to skip to the middle. It says the werewolf lunged from the roof of one building to the adjacent building's fire escape, and the thugs, suspiciously loitering at the rear of the New York bank, neither saw nor heard me. I'd noticed them in my human guise of Jack Russell some 3 minutes earlier, and I'd promptly decided to stop them. So from this opening page, we realize that now when he sees crime, he's going to fight it.
Mm-hmm.
New direction, my friend.
Yep. It must have been a phone booth.
Yep.
So I really like him diving diagonally down from left to right to this fire escape from what's clearly a rooftop. The way Perlin drew and inked his musculature and his fur, his claws here as he's reaching out to grab onto the edge of the fire escape. He looks great. Yeah,
he does. The beast looks amazing on this page.
Mm-hmm. Is this a real bank? New York Bank, Fred's Bank.
New York Bank. Let's just say it is.
I will have to confess something. The first time I read this, I did not know for quite a while that he was not in LA because they were in Haiti and then an adventure was happening. So as we'll see, I got confused and it got cleared up pretty quickly, but I was very disoriented for a moment.
No, you were right to be. It's this issue is a little strange the way it is sequenced, but we'll get into that.
I love when Perlin does those weird shading things. I've mentioned this before, but it's like some kind of fractal. It's hatching, but he'll do like 3 lines like diagonal left, and then he'll turn his pencil or his brush and do like 3 lines, another angle, and he just like kind of builds this mosaic of shading through all these weird little hatches like that. They look so neat, the texture that makes.
It's cool. It's very unique. Yeah, Perlin, not a lazy artist. He really puts his all into it.
Yeah, I would buy this page. I'll put it on my Amazon gift wish list.
Yes, please do.
Okay. So on the next page, the beast is looking down from the fire escape at these shady individuals outside the back entrance of a bank. And he's noticing something weird. These are not your common everyday type bank robbers. And we cut into a close-up of them. And there's 3 henchmen guys standing around the Masked Marauder. I don't know if you're familiar with this character, but he's been around. He's just kind of a C-list guy that's been kicking around for a long time. But he's got like a black kind of motorcycle helmet-y type of thing and a cape. And he's blue and purple, blue suit, purple cape, purple gloves, purple belt. And he's got kind of like a laser gun, so like a laser gun, and they're cutting into the back of the bank. And there's a note from Archie Goodwin that says the Masked Marauder last seen in Iron Man 60 and 61. So how convenient.
Yeah.
So the werewolf continues moving down, and he doesn't bother to look up because nobody looks up. And if he did, he would see that Iron Man is soaring overhead, thinking to himself, man, I am so tired. I'm just, run through the ringer. Just want to get back to Avengers Mansion, just kick back, have a beer before I get clean from alcohol.
Do you know why he's so tired?
Making love out of nothing at all.
So there's a little Archie has a little note that says, for the reason why, see Iron Man numbers 93 and 94, which I read.
Ooh,
and
please do
Tony is really tired because he just fought a pirate named Commander Kraken, who has a jet-powered peg leg and sails around in a pirate ship that can transform into a submarine. I'm exhausted just talking about it.
Yeah, Commander Kraken.
Commander Kraken. Thank you, Jerry Conway, who wrote both issues.
What if that guy's still around?
Oh man, yeah, they're not. I don't know. It just reminded me of why I don't read Iron Man comics.
So as he's soaring overhead, he also sees these ne'er-do-wells breaking into a bank, and he's like, wouldn't you know, the crooks always pick the worst time to make their play. He's like, my solar cells, that's how he charged his suit back in the old days. So my solar cells are running low, so my power's low, I'm exhausted, my mind's, mushy because I haven't slept, I'm tired, but I got to swoop in here and take care of this. And we cut back to the werewolf, who's also in mid-dive towards these guys, saying, not being the typical hero in the looks department, I decided I'd compensate with a little extra style. And he roars loudly as he's jumping down on these guys. He says, I growled as I leaped straight at the dude called Marauder. So we're on a collision course with wackiness right here.
Oh, yeah. Wackiness is going to ensue. We see on the next page that Jack and Iron Man collide in midair and fall to the ground. And I like that the funniest thing is that they both smash into each other. And we see at the bottom, one of the Marauder's goons is like, what in the...
I didn't mention, I like that this Marauder, he's an asshole and all, but he refers to his henchman by name. You don't get that a lot from supervillains. The first guy is his Creech, and another one's named Pardee, Pardee.
Those are weird names.
Yeah. I almost felt like I should look them up. Like if there's some old, Stevenson characters from old Stevenson's short story or something, like knowing Doug.
Yeah. No, it's from Shakespeare's Lost Play.
Okay.
Yeah. Obviously.
American Graffiti.
American Graffiti too. So yeah, they Iron Man and the werewolf collide, fall to the ground. And the Marauder is kind of saying, I might have known if anyone was going to give us trouble on this caper, it figures he'd be. And then the werewolf says, Iron Man, seen your picture in the papers. Looks like we just had the same idea at the same time. And Iron Man says, you said it, friend, but there's one difference. My costume's not for trick-or-treating. And so they're both just kind of bantering. And the Marauder's like, I don't know who that other clown is, but we had better deal with both of them before they start fighting. And he's like, wait a minute. Wait, you're signaling me.
I'm signaling you. Iron Man thought this was a Halloween costume.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I need a drink.
We need a drink for that. I am, by the way, Jacob knows this, I am drinking a new bourbon called Wolf Moon, which I bought based solely on the name. It was the second shelf from the bottom, so it tastes just like a $22 bottle of bourbon.
Yeah. It's not bad.
It's not bad.
No, I tried some. Yeah, so sorry, I missed that. I need to pay more attention because
Please.
I need to drink for this issue. Yeah, the Marauder is getting ready, like, oh, we got to deal with both of them, but they're kind of Iron Man and Jack are kind of banter fighting, and then he's like, the Marauder says, "Wait a minute, I don't believe it. The idiots are going to fight amongst themselves. This is too good to be true." He's like, "Come on, let's let those two jerks make hash of each other while we take the bank." And so, yeah, we see that Iron Man shoots one of his repulsor rays at Jack. Jack's like, "What are you doing? I'm on your side, you fool." And then Iron Man says, "Sure, after tackling me in midair, just as I was about to swoop down on your gang." And then Tony says that he thinks that Jack is a mutation created by the Marauder. What a maroon.
Yeah. So he drew first blood. Like when Masked Marauder is saying, "Hey, these idiots are fighting each other. Let's just go and rob the bank." In the background, Iron Man's punching the werewolf. And then he's shooting with a repulsor ray.
Yeah.
And I love that that they didn't even stop. They're completely oblivious, or he's completely oblivious to this. You picked the wrong target for your trick, friend. I don't know. Jesus. He's threatening to take him to jail because this is one armored Avenger who's going to treat you to a swift trip to the lockup.
Yeah.
He has no evidence that he's party of this crime in progress. No. I don't know. Whatever.
No, I mean, I'd like to blame it on Tony being sleepy from fighting with a really lame villain, but no.
He's got a foam dome that just feeds him martinis into his helmet, I'm sure.
Demon in a bottle's coming up.
Demon in a bottle. I don't know. I thought it was funny that Doug kind of called out the cliche of when two superheroes meet, they have to fight for a minute.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. I'm just trying to make it through.
I know. We're all just trying to make it through.
So, yeah, on the next page, Jack says, I am for real. And he's like, all right, you've convinced me, friend. In which case, this is the first time that a monster has been on my side. And then he punches the werewolf in the face again. Jack's done with this at this point. He's like, all right, Iron Man, you asked for it. And since you won't listen to reason. And so he slashes at him, but it's not doing anything because he's, wearing armor. And he zaps him at the werewolf again. He falls back into some trash cans. Jack says to himself, the werewolf wouldn't have thought of this, but since I have my mind now, I can actually use, my environment and, in a moment of desperation, I can do things like kick this can. He kicks a garbage can out with his feet. It hits Tony's arm as he's shooting his repulsor ray, which makes him shoot himself with his own repulsor ray. And, Jack's like, hey, how does it feel to be on the other end of that thing, friend? And he grabs a trash can lid like a shield. And Tony's thinking, I'm even more weak now than when I started this insane fight. So, yeah, these guys are throwing down for real somehow.
They are. It's funny because I look at how the action is depicted, and it's pretty good. Dawn is doing a great job. But I guess just compared with every other fight that we've seen in Werewolf by Night, him fighting superheroes is just like the most boring thing ever.
Yeah.
It just really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, the fight continues. Jack's holding his own pretty well. He takes that with a trash can lid against, billionaire armor. And so he smashes him with a trash can lid. And all the while, the Marauder and his gang are just leisurely robbing the bank, which I'm kind of on their side more than anything else, because they're just like, oh, we get another goon's name.
Strength.
Marauder says, yeah, just fill the satchel. Strength. So we should have looked those up. I really hope
party strength.
I really hope it's some highbrow literary reference, but
I will find out. I didn't do my homework today. I'm sorry.
I know. Well, I don't know. Doug's a big fan of old movies. Maybe this is some kind of movie reference.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Just has to be a reason he went to the point of naming them.
He does, right? He doesn't do stuff like that for no reason. So no. Yeah, I know. I'm very curious. So yeah, they just keep fighting. He just keeps hitting him with the trash can lid. And then Iron Man shoots a repulsor ray and just kind of finally destroys the lid. The bottom narration reads, the battered thing wouldn't stand up to another blast, and I knew it, which meant I had to do something fast or face the music with nothing but a shield of fur. Yeah, I mean, the beast looks great in this page. The fight scenes are pretty dynamic. I just, Iron Man being in Werewolf by Night is just such a weird record scratch. It's just so off-putting. It's off-putting talking about it.
It is. And it's a shame that they felt compelled by editorial or themselves to prove that he's now a superhero by putting another superhero in here and just kind of doing they're fighting each other just like heroes do when they meet. Because he could have just as easily gone back to Malibu and encountered something like this downtown and had his first outing as a hero. Like, I don't know why this had to be in NYC.
No, and it's like they took the new direction too far. If the new direction was just like, oh, now he can totally, choose when he wants to transform. He has his own consciousness. Like, that is super badass and could have been used many, many ways instead of him just deciding to fight crime. Which, wow, just so boring.
Yeah, so Iron Man's standing over him and kind of saying, all right, time for the real fight to start, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, Masked Marauder's leaving the bank he has just robbed. And he aims his pistol, his Buck Rogers weird laser pistol, at the back of Iron Man. And Jack sees this and dives, knocking him out of the way, and says, get down. And Iron Man says, what the? That blast must have been aimed at my back. Then you really are on my side. You're due an apology, friend. And you'll get it after we tackle the Marauder and his gang together. The more you know.
Wow, that was quick.
So, yeah, there's an optoblast that blinds their optic nerves briefly. And the chopper comes to pick up the bad guys. And Jack's freaking out because he can't see.
Oh, man, this is tough. Can I just come out and say this is tough?
Yeah, it is pretty awesome.
Okay, yeah, so our heroes are blinded. And so the Marauder shoots his Buck Rogers pistol again, but this time Iron Man shields Jack, letting his armor absorb the blast.
Kind of effective.
Kind of.
It also throws him into the wall and knocks the wind out of him. Like, probably broke a rib.
Yeah, it really rams into Jack. But yeah, knocks both of them out temporarily. And yeah, thankfully we switch settings. And kind of weirdly too, like just the panel layout of this page is strange.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no real flow to it. It's really weird. But we jump back up and see Topaz telling some cops that her friend went to try to stop this burglary and they have to leave right now. She says, it's taken me 20 minutes just to find you and we're still 6 blocks away. We've got to hurry before Jack gets hurt. They're like, sure, lady, sure. And then the last panel is Iron Man helping the Beast up, saying, you all right, friend? My armor protected me, but you got slammed pretty hard. Are you sure you're not seriously injured? Jack says, don't know, still shaky. Who was that guy anyway? I love the little stars around around Jack's head. It's funny, his face is like, I know it's supposed to be a grimace, but it looks like he's really laughing at some joke that Tony told him. Some off-color joke.
So on the next page, Iron Man's explaining who the Masked Marauder is, the last time he fought him and sent him to jail. And it's, Jack's kind of saying like, wow, he was doing this whole thing with a space shuttle and now he's just robbing banks. He's kind of slumming, right? And he's like, well, he's probably stealing this to fund a much bigger earth-shattering scheme. He kind of wounded Tony's ego there. And he's like, say, friend, just who are you? That's no mask. So you must be, what, a werewolf? And Jack's still kind of recovering. He's like, yeah, it's too long of a story to explain, but I'm better off than I was just a few days ago when I had no control over this change. It's like, oh, then you're human part of the time. What's your name? And Jack kind of sputters like, Russ Jackson. He's like, well, Russ, looks like you could use some first aid. I was just headed to Avenger's mansion before I spotted the Marauder. I'll take you there now. And Jack faints. He's like, well, we got to get Topaz. And then he passes out. And Iron Man's thinking, wow, this poor guy's really out of it. And it's probably my fault for judging him a monster just because he looks like a monster. So he's really grown just in the space of a few pages here.
Man.
And he's thinking as he's carrying the werewolf and flying into the air, I hope it's not too serious. You can't take a werewolf to a hospital. So I'm just hoping that we can take him to the mansion and Jarvis, the butler of the Avengers, will take care of it. Meanwhile, we cut to the bank and Topaz has led the police to there. And they're looking at the damage that was done, the laser that cut the hole in the door. And, yep. So in that second panel, we see Tony Stark's eyes like poking through the eye holes of the helmet. That's creepy looking.
It's really creepy looking. But how? Okay, so was this the most exciting part of this issue that you're going to have to add another AKA to the intro?
Yeah, Russ Jackson.
That's exciting.
That was like Three's Company level, like bad. Like,
it was like,
what's your name?
Russ
Jackson?
Yeah.
I mean, he was going to say Russell, Jack Russell, right?
Yeah. Shoes, butt back. What's the other one? Aprons.
I forgot.
Simpsons reference. Yeah.
So honestly, it was at this point when he said Avengers Mansion where I was like, wait, there was a West Coast Avengers Mansion at this point? So I was still like, I don't understand. We're in LA. Why is Iron Man even here? I was so confused.
Yeah, that's right. A little editor's note or something should have told us that we're in New York. But yeah, I know.
Yeah, we get a flashback explaining where they are and why in like 2 pages when the issue's almost done. So yeah, I thought they were on the West Coast and I was trying to figure out why Iron Man was there, but Commander Kraken is a totally good reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the West Coast Avengers didn't exist until the title started, right? In the 82 or whatever that miniseries was.
Yep.
So there was no West Coast Avengers Mansion.
No.
Just Daredevil out there?
Yeah.
Jack.
And Jack.
And Black Widow?
Yeah, I think so.
Or does she just show up sometimes to bone Matt Murdock and have an adventure here and there?
Yeah. I don't know. The West Coast is not very populated with superheroes at this point.
No.
But
not like now.
Not like now where they're everywhere. Okay, so like you said, the last panel of that page is Topaz, talking to the cops and showing them that, she wasn't kidding. So they're like, yeah, you said it. And then on the next page, what a weird panel of Topaz.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it just... So anyhow, so the cops apologize to her, which is nice to hear. But Yeah, that first panel. Wow, it's just like one of the weirdest depictions of Topaz. She's kind of manly with Ramita eyes. Like, I don't even know how to describe it, though. Like, it's just so weird. And the inking is so heavy on her hair. Like, it was done with a Sharpie.
Yeah, totally.
It's just fucking weird.
Like Trump inked it.
Yeah. It's so strange.
Yeah, and she kind of looks like if you just took Silly Putty and put it on a Plug Topaz and then just stretched it out sideways a couple, like, she just looks like a halibut or something.
Yeah, that's a pretty good description, actually. So yeah, the cops tell her to come down to the station and fill out a missing persons report on this Jack, since they're like, oh, well, now she's telling the truth. And she kind of wistfully says, Jack, wherever he is. And then we kind of cut to Iron Man, and he's carrying a passed out Jack. They arrive at Avenger's mansion, which I guess he's doing this to prepare Jarvis. But I thought it was kind of funny that Iron Man comes to Avengers Mansion and has to knock on the door.
It took me a second read to go, oh, okay.
I was like, oh, okay. He had to do that. But I'm like, there's no like hatch you're going to fly in. You can just go in, like ring the doorbell. But so he touches down. Then he's like, says to the Beast, can you stand on your own? He's like, yeah, I think so. It's like, okay, good. It'll give me a chance to prepare Jarvis. So he knocks on the door. Jarvis opens it up, really stoked, just being like, Iron Man, delighted to see you, sir. And Iron Man says, Jarvis, I've got a friend with me. I want you to be prepared for a shock when you meet him. And Jarvis is like, oh, I'm the Avengers butler. I've seen all sorts of crazy shit. He's like, all right, Jarvis, I warned you. He says, come on in, Russ. And so he sees the Beast. And the narration of Jack says that the pain made me cough. So he's like, at a bad time. Jarvis freaked. So Jarvis drops all the shit he's carrying. It's like, yay! It's so funny and weird.
That panel of Iron Man with his arm on Jack's shoulder and Jack's coughing in pain, so he's like scowling, is hilarious.
It is hilarious. That was one I was really excited to put in the feed because it's really weird.
Like that should be in a superhero yearbook or something.
It should be. Stay sweet, Jack.
He went and saved the best for last.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one of the things that Jarvis dropped was an expensive vase. So Tony's transistors spring into action, and he dives down and catches it before it breaks.
The rich man saves property.
Yes, he says, I told you to prepare yourself. And he's like, I'm all right now, sir. Just a momentary fright. And he leads Jack to a divan, and Iron Man excuses himself and says, Jarvis, take care of him. I'm going to go make a phone call. So Jack's laying down, and Jarvis says, I'm going to get you some fresh, hot broth. But you certainly are bristly, if you don't mind my saying so, that is. Weird undercurrent to all of Jarvis's interactions for the rest of this issue.
So weird.
Meanwhile, Tony Stark has... What the fuck? Why is his helmet on the table like a mask?
I know. None of it makes any sense.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I know.
It's usually like a helmet, right? Like it's something he wears around his head, not like over his head like a... That looks like a mask.
This is going to keep you up at night, Matt.
Oh my God. How did I not see that? Anyway, he calls Daredevil Matt Murdock and he says, hey, this is Tony Stark. I just want some information on Frank Farnham, a.k.a. the Masked Marauder. I understand your friend Daredevil once had a run-in with him. Do they not know at this point who each other are?
I can never fucking keep up with that.
So Jarvis brings his patented brew, his own broth. He says, well, it's guaranteed to, well, actually, I don't suppose you need to grow hair on your chest, do you, sir? Just a friendly joke there, sir. And he's like, sir? And then Jack passes out completely. And this is where he flashed back in his little kind of dream state where he remembers how this whole thing started. He's like after saying goodbye to Coker, Northrop, and Brother Voodoo at the airport in Haiti. At this point, I read those words, I'm like, oh my God, like land. Like, I remember that. That was when my world made sense.
It soothed you.
Yeah. And then, so we see Jack and Topaz down in Times Square or whatever saying, glad we decided, or maybe it's Broadway, sorry. Glad we decided to celebrate your change here in Manhattan, Jack. A Broadway show and dinner should be a welcome relief. After all we've been through lately, I mean. And so that's when Jack sees the bank heist happening and says, hey, I'm going to go down there and take care of that. Those guys don't like, garbage men. And so he's taking advantage of this whole 3 who are all transformation he's had, and he can fight crime now. So it's time. Let's do it. He hasn't thought this through because he doesn't know how to change of clothes. Like at some point, Banner gets like pants that change with his size, just same like Hank Pym has clothes that grow with his body. Like he hasn't planned this out at all.
No, and he's on a fucking date.
Yeah.
Like him and Topaz have had hardly any time to themselves. They're seeing a show. They're getting something to eat. Like Jack is a shitty boyfriend.
Yeah, I would just go see Cats. I don't even like Cats, but I'm with Topaz.
Yeah, I know. Just, God, he's a fucking moron. So, the weird little mini flashback continues. And the narration says, I decided to try my hand at a voluntary hairy hero, which, God, made me groan. So many groans. And he says, go find some cops, Topaz. I'm going to try and stop these thugs. But then she's like, but Jack, what if? He says, go on, girl. What a fucking asshole. Oh, God. And it says, she went against her will, and I exerted my will right there in the New York shadows. And so he transforms into the beast at the end of the 3 panel and says, did it. And yeah, he has those really cool speech balloons and the real kind of heavy lettering that Deborah James does, which is great, which is a part of the new direction that I love.
Yeah, good transformation here too.
Yeah, it is. It's solid and good. The camera kind of moves in on the face as he's transforming. No, it's cool. And so, yeah, then it shows him climbing up to the roof that we saw in the opening page, to where he's going to jump down in that fire escape. And so then at the narration at the end of the flashback panel says, so much for my plans, and now for my memories. They went out like a light, and I fell into total oblivion on a couch in Avengers Mansion. And then we do have another weird switch of focus where we are suddenly at Buck's Malibu pad, where Elaine, Lissa, and Buttons are visiting. It's like, oh, Buttons. Like Elaine is like, we're both looking forward to you being up and around again, Buck, so you can visit us. I like Buck. He's like, yeah, well, I don't know about that, Elaine. Like he's ready to have like a serious talk with her. Like, we should probably talk.
I thought he was saying like, I'm not sure I'm going to walk again.
No, I think he's going to dump her.
Oh.
And then we see Lissa, who's talking to Buttons, being like, hey, folks, how about some hot chocolate? Fucking Buttons says, yay-bo, Lissa, I'll help you get it. Buttons. God, all of her dialogue is just cringeworthy.
Like sitcom saccharine, like painfully cute.
It's just terrible.
Yay-bo?
Yay-bo. She said that before, and it drives me crazy.
Was that a thing people said?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Lissa says, okay, Buttons, come on into the kitchen. See? Buck's like, cute kid you got there, Elaine. She'll be a real... And then there's a crash and a scream from the other room. Buck says, that was Lissa. And Elaine's like, what in the world? And both their faces are also kind of strange. Yeah,
but I like them.
I like them. Buck looks like the Challengers of the Unknown Kirby face, but if the Challengers were like 100 years old.
Yeah. And he's got a cigarette hanging out of his mouth as he talks. He looks like he should be in a Crime Doesn't Pay comic or something from the 50s.
He does. I love him smoking around children, though. I will always read that. Yeah.
When Elaine's looking good, Lissa looks good, everybody's looking good.
No, everybody looks good.
I thought maybe Elaine would be in a padded room after Marcosa House, but she's...
Yeah, no shit. But now she wants
lost her shit a couple times.
She did lose her shit a couple times, but she's back. She's got Buttons. She's hanging with Buck. No, it's all good.
So the next page, Buttons comes running in from the kitchen and says, a bad man, Mommy, a bad man got Lissa. He's going to kill her. And Elaine says, a bad man, child? What are you? And then Buck pulls a gun out of a side table and says, stay here with Buttons, Elaine, and phone the police. It's like, but Buck, you can't go in there alone. And Buttons is hugging her mommy, tears rolling down her cheeks. The bad man will kill you, Uncle Buck. He says, I've got to go. If something's happened to... And he rolls into the kitchen through the swinging doors. Lissa, my God, what's happened to? And he finds her on the ground with the milk spilling out on the floor of the kitchen. And then there's a strange word balloon that's all kind of shaky. It says, your time has come, Cowan. And a shadow is falling over Lissa on the floor of the kitchen. Bucks turns and says, you, after all these years? No. Yes, Cowan. Yes. And Bucks dropped the gun. He's so startled by whoever this is that he's recognized. Then we cut back to Avengers Mansion in New York City. How's our friend doing, Jarvis? Says Iron Man. Unconscious, sir, but I can't find any actual injuries. Just exhaustion, I imagine. And wait a moment, sir. He seems to be going to convulsions. And Jack's like, his hair is coming back to Jack from Werewolf. He's like, yes, he's changing. By Jove, you're right, sir. He's changing into a young man, a normal, handsome young man, sir. But who is he? And Iron Man says, who knows, Jarvis? As you said, a young man with a very large problem. And Jack's got very kind of pretty boy features in that last panel after he's turned back into his human form. Yeah.
And Jarvis definitely has noticed.
Jarvis has noticed, but I don't think he's gay in the 616.
I'm not sure. I don't think so, but yeah.
He definitely has a lycanthrope kink. So,
oh man,
canthrophile, I guess would be the term.
We are really going to see that come out.
Yeah. I mean, I say you go, girl. Like, do you?
Yeah, no, I'm okay with it.
If it's consensual.
Yeah. So I thought it was weird. So the next page is kind of a clunky cut to the Marauder and his gang. Like so we're suddenly in the Marauder and his gang are in this helicopter. The Marauder tells his goons, he's talking to Strank. He's like, yeah, perhaps you're right, Strank. Perhaps I made a rare mistake in my haste to escape with the money, and perhaps 2 years in prison have even dulled my instincts. He's like, but I'll tell you, I did a lot of thinking in prison before you turkeys busted me out.
I love that, right? I mean, he's like this preachy, pretentious, Fraser Niles Crane asshole. And then he's also like, you turkeys.
Yeah, I know.
In the same breath.
So weird. And he's like, remember the Tri-Man, the android I created? We have a little flashback of him talking about that he had channeled the attributes of 3 different crooks into an android and pitted the Tri-Man's newly gained strength against Daredevil without success, unfortunately. And so, yeah, he says, now you'll see soon, Creech, that we've reached Central Park Zoo. So the helicopter flies over and like tractor beams up a gorilla, a cheetah, and an alligator. And he's like, I'm going to put an android with the attributes of 3 different animals. And he says, if this Tri-Animan proves effective against Iron Man, we'll use it in my vendetta against the Magia, which is Marvel's Mafia.
Marvel's Mafia.
Yeah, which, was kind of cool. We got to, at least have a reference to them in this. But then the best part is in that last panel where we have a classic drunk who says, flying aminals. Gonna attack the helicopter, I bet? Huh, what do they think of next? I guarantee
the drunks.
Yeah, the next thing he does is rub his eyes and toss the bottles over his shoulder.
Yes, and he has the classic little stars around his head to indicate intoxication.
Oh my God.
And he looks like Michael Richards, aka Cosmo Kramer.
He does, Galina. Yeah, he does.
If Cosmo Kramer were a Cro-Mag.
Oh my God.
So back in the Avengers Mansion. That was clunky, by the way.
It is. It's really clunky and weird.
I don't know where that could have been put in or how it could have been handled better, but it feels like it was just inserted randomly. Like, I don't know. This made me think of, like you're saying, like it literally cut to this mid-sentence, like still say we should have checked him.
I know.
So Jack wakes up in Avengers Mansion and he's panicking. He's like, I changed while I'm asleep. You know who I am. And Tony Stark is now fully Tony Stark. He's just in the suit. And Jarvis says, yes, lad, you told Master Iron Man last night, you're Russell Jackson, and I trust you're feeling better. And he's like, oh, now I sound like a dope. How would they know my face or care who I was? I love that. This is like one of the first realistic depictions of someone being like, I am nobody.
Yeah.
I'm not a famous millionaire industrialist. I'm not, whatever. I'm just a kid from LA. They don't give a shit. And so Jack's asking who Tony is. He's like, I'm Tony Stark. Iron Man's my bodyguard. I forgot about that whole ruse that was around forever.
Ugh.
And he says, Iron Man left early this morning, but he left a message for you. He said, if you want another crack of that Marauder, meet him at Houston and 12th Street at 7 tonight. And Jack says, well, I'm still kind of new to this hero jazz, but why not? Because it went so well last night. He's like, Good. I've got to run now, but good luck to you. And so Tony leaves, and Jack's rubbing his head. He's like, 7? When's that? He's like, in about an hour, sir, says Jarvis. It's 6 now. In the evening? You were quite exhausted, sir. Slept through the entire day. Like, Jack's surprised. He does this all the time. Like, every time he's surprised.
No.
I'm going to have a drink, even though this isn't like a unforecasted change. That's very obvious. I'm just having one.
I'm having the rest of my shot. This is painful.
All right. Oh, wow. That is not sipping whiskey. Wow.
That's your endorsement of Wolf Moon whiskey. Not sipping whiskey.
This ain't your wolf mother sipping whiskey.
Ugh.
Right. So this is where it gets a little weird. The rest of this page. So it's just Jarvis and Jack alone in Avengers Mansion. And Jarvis kind of leans in. He's just studying Jack closely. And he says, can I ask you a question, sir? Can you actually transform into the werewolf whenever you choose? And Jack says, I guess I can, Jarv. From now on, anyway. Jarvis is getting more excited. Then I am correct to presume that you will be aiding Master Iron Man in your guise as a werewolf? Jack stands up, like, wouldn't be much good against the supervillain the way I am now. And he pats Jarvis on the shoulder. And Jarvis says, in that case, sir, it's dark now. And I don't think anyone should be able to see you, were you to remain in the shadows and so forth. And Jack sits down as what is he doing? Oh, he sits down like in like the lotus position or whatever, like he's focusing his chi to change. I don't know.
He has never done that, not once.
And he goes, oh, you want to watch me change? Is that it? And Jarvis like, yes, sir. I confess it is. And then Jack says, all right, Jarvis, here goes. And then, his teeth start coming out. He starts just struggling. He's like, by Jove, sir. And then he's just like clapping his hands like a little kid. He's like, this is really quite thrilling. Bravo, sir. Bravo. As Jack's in mid-transformation. And Jack thinks he didn't know about the pain. And then Jarvis puts his hand on Jack's head and his other hand on his shoulder and says, good show, sir. Smashingly done. And it says, the werewolf in me didn't like to be touched. Good thing I know how to control it or whatever. Good thing I now controlled it. And he looks like he's given like when you give a noogie or something like that. It looks like Jack's just like, cut it out. Like his body language as a werewolf.
Oh, I know. It's so weird.
Really into touching him. Yeah,
he is. I mean, and half of me thinks, Jarvis is probably a fan of the old Wolfman movies. And he's, like all of us, maybe a fan of Supernatural and stuff. And I would be pretty excited if I got to see a werewolf change. I won't lie.
I would too.
But he takes it to a little bit of a weird, kinky place. But like you say, Jarvis, you do you.
Yeah.
It's cool by us.
I'm just going to say I am 99% sure that after Jack left to go join Iron Man, that he wrapped a bearskin rug around a mannequin or a statue and just started dry humping it. Dollars to donuts. 5 will get you 10.
So, yeah. And I like that on the next page, the first narration is, I left by the back door.
Jarvis is smoking.
Jarvis is saying, farewell, sir. So I left by the back door thinking only of Topaz. I'd have to find her when this was all finished. Jack meets up with Tony, and Tony explains to him that the Marauder is actually Frank Farnham, who managed the building that Daredevil's law firm was in. It's really the funniest. And I think this happened in like the late 60s, actually, I think, to where, this villain just ends up being Daredevil's landlord in the big reveal, which is fucking hilarious.
But that's the formula or whatever I was telling you about, right? Like the Parker's conundrum or whatever, like if you work at the Daily Bugle or if you know Peter Parker, you're 20 times more likely to be related to a villain.
Which is funny. And that's what Steve Ditko hated most of all, right? Mm-hmm. That's what, when he wanted like the reveal of something, he didn't want, was it the Green Goblin? He didn't want the Green Goblin to be.
He didn't want Norman Osborn to be the Green Goblin.
No, he just wanted to be
should be anybody established.
Yeah. And that was kind of what he was saying when Dr. Octopus like unmasked Spider-Man. And it's just like, oh, he's just some kid.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know this kid. He's just some random kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ditko loved that shit.
Yeah, I do too.
I do too, actually. I mean, it makes sense. It's a real world situation.
But on the other hand, I also love what Stan did and making Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin. I mean,
Yeah.
there's good on both sides.
True. So yeah, he tells Jack that, Farnham is probably holed up in some warehouse hideout. And Tony then tells Jack to take the front entrance while he will crash through the second floor. So they have a plan. And in the middle panel, we see that the Marauder is nearly ready to throw the switch on his Trianaman. And then that final panel at the bottom, the heroes crash through the wall. And I love each of them land a punch before they even reach the ground. each punch a goon with the sound effects of walk and scump. I really liked scump. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, I'm going to start calling you Scump.
I'm okay with that.
I thought it was weird, though, that on that last panel at the bottom, it says, we'd met out in the deserted second floor hall and decided to crash the party together. Like, I don't know. I guess it's not important that because they split up and entered the building separately, and then they make it, I don't know.
No, it doesn't make any sense. I noticed it too. I'm like, well, that wasn't the plan.
Yeah. So Frank Farnham, former manager of the building which housed the law firm of Murdoch and Nelson, and also he owns a old warehouse. How is he a genius? Did he get big brained like the leader did, like Sam Stern or whatever?
No, when did he take some correspondence courses in jail?
Yes, I don't understand. How is he so smart? Like on that panel, like you're saying, where the creatures are all hooked up via tubes and giant bubbles to the android. Like, where the fuck did he get an android? How does he know how to do any of this?
I know. Well, he did just rob a bank, so he has a lot of money to buy supplies immediately to do this.
Like today, if you were doing this, like they would say, well, he paid the mad thinker to, I mean, like they would actually go to the extra step of explaining like how this happened, because this is just serial villain stuff.
So am I wrong in thinking that it's so weird to bring kind of very stereotypical Marvel storytelling to where stuff like this, to where it doesn't make sense, to where even though in the previous issues of Werewolf by Night, we've had, goofy storylines, but they all kind of make sense.
Yeah. No, and there's an inherent logic to them.
It's a weird logic, but when we have this normal, like rote Marvel storytelling of the time of the late 70s superhero stuff, it just seems so clunky and illogical. Like it shines a light on what's wrong with this kind of storytelling.
Exactly.
Because we've been used to a fairly logical, if you could say that, for this book. So yeah, this issue is such whiplash.
Yeah, I'm with you. Masked Marauder is saying, keep them back. I need time for final adjustments. Keep them away from me. So he's fiddling at his machinery, trying to imbue these animals' qualities into the android man. And Jack thinks they tried. Lord knows, but we tossed them aside like dolls. And there's this panel of them just kicking the shit out of henchmen. And the Marauder says, now. And he throws this switch, and this giant thing with the metal bands around it and the Dr. Octopus looking tentacles hooked up all over to it starts like sparking with electricity and convulsing, and Marauder says, it's done, it's working, just a few minutes more before the Trianaman is born. And there's sparks and fizzles and hums and crackles. They continue kind of kicking the shit out of this stuff, and Jack's kind of musing like, it's kind of funny, like I'm this primal beast and I'm teamed up with this like futuristic technology guy, and we're just like a hand in glove just kicking ass. And it says, but the thugs had nothing but squawks as Iron Man's zapping a guy going, yeah. And Masked Marauder says, no, they're winning too quickly. Must throw the power to peak intensity, risk and overload. No choice. All these things are cliche, right?
This
like running out of time,
issue. Oh,
we got to roll the dice and just, this is make or break, double or nothing.
No, even though, this is another just silly page, even though I kind of love that kind of dynamic action in that first panel of Iron Man in the foreground punching the guy punching his tooth out.
Yes, I do like that panel a lot.
Yeah, it's really cool. So I'm definitely going to put that in the feed. But God, yeah, this issue I can't. Okay, so we're finally at the last page. The final page.
Professional.
Yeah, that's right. The final page is just 3 panels. The top 2 show a silhouette of the Trianaman breaking free. And the final panel is the big reveal with the Marauder saying, but it worked. He's alive. The Trianaman lives. And then the narration says, and from the looks of him, we were dead. The floor shook as Gargantua stalked towards us. I had a feeling I was better off in the old days where I would have been on his side. And I do kind of like what Jack and Tony say. Jack's like, are you sure this is how the Avengers started? And Iron Man says in a real quiet, nope.
That was one of my favorite parts. Actually.
Yeah, that is my favorite part of the whole issue. Like if they had that kind of witty repartee,
yeah.
like they're Nick and Nora, I would definitely like that. But oh god. Okay, so we're on to the teaser. The next issue, it says the incongruous combo of Werewolf by Night and Iron Man as they desperately battle the terrible threat of the Triana-Man. Oh. Amen to that. Oh god, what the fuck?
Yeah, I want to read. Since we're at the end here, editor's notes are kind of telling, so I think it's fun to read these. I'm going to skip a letter though. I think this time around. For openers, people, we're excited. This issue, as all but the cheaters among you know by now, cheaters, those who sneak a peek at the letters page before reading the actual story, is the culmination of our efforts developed through the past 3 or 4 issues. In other words, the Marauder and the Man of Iron marks the werewolf's first real baptism of fire subsequent to his big change. We think we've managed to engineer the change in a refreshing and exciting manner, while still retaining the overall flavor of previous Werewolf by Night stories. And believe us, it wasn't easy, but we've done it, and we're excited. So saith you. But we've done it, and we're excited by what we've done. Now we'd like to know how you feel about our new approach in theme and concept. Have we hit upon the kind of story which appeals to you? The kind of story which will sell? We hope so, people, because we really want this book to remain healthy in both quality and sales. So let us know, huh? In the meantime, let's take a look at some of the verdicts on our past offerings. And then so there's a couple letters, and then saw people feeding back about the 3 who are all storyline. And at the bottom it says, and that does it till next issue, people, when Don and Doug present the wrap-up of our epic Iron Man 2-parter, The Terrible Threat of the Triana-Man, including further developments in the hapless life of Buck Cowan, whom, it seems, has had a mystery-shrouded past you just wouldn't believe. Be good. So they're clearly fishing.
Yeah, they are. My
hey,
God.
Kids.
Yeah.
Will you buy this?
Yeah, please buy this.
And if you don't want to buy it, why? We worked really hard on it. But, if you don't like it, that's cool. But we worked really fucking hard on it.
Guilting readers into buying future issues. That always works.
Yeah. Final thoughts?
Well, it's not going to come as a shock to you, but I hated this issue. I hated it so much. I think this is my least favorite issue. Everything that we were talking about while we were going through it, just that it trying to shoehorn the Werewolf by Night character into this new superhero box is just painful and frustrating. Like this is such a bad way to end this series. But I mean, it was getting canceled. Obviously, this new direction. I think the new direction would have worked, but this is terrible.
Yeah,
I can't find anything I like about this issue except for that last little banter between them and a couple panels. But aside from that, even Jarvis's werewolf kink wasn't enough to really keep my interest.
Yeah. It wasn't that much fun to read.
No, it wasn't. And I almost have to apologize. It's really hard. It was hard for me even to talk about this without ending every sentence with a sigh.
Yeah. And I feel like in some ways, these last 2 issues cast a pall backwards on the previous issues that we've loved so much. Like when I was saying, like the first time I read this through 20 years ago or so, or 15 years ago, like, it just, the Marcosa house, it just kind of fades out after Moon Knight. It's just like, I don't know, Triana-Man, So I just felt like it got really shitty, but it didn't. It got shitty in the last 2 issues.
Yeah.
But it's so bad, it's a fart that goes through multiple train cars.
Yeah.
So you're in the dining car, somebody cuts one 3 cars away, and somehow I'm paying for it. It's like that.
All right. I'm gonna try to approach the next issue and have more energy, not find things that I really like about it, but try not to show my pain in going through it. I'm going to internalize that pain.
Oh, that
for
sounds healthy.
you and for the listeners.
Okay. Yeah. Push it down.
I will push it down.
Yeah. I don't, I was, I think it was Marvel by the Month was posting some pics from a end of the X-Men original run. Cause they were saying like, this was Neil Adams' art. And I feel like there was some back and forth going on in their Instagram feed. It's like someone was saying, holy shit, is that Neil Adams or something? And they were saying like, yeah, the thing is that the title had been axed already by the time Neil Adams came on. So it didn't matter what sales happened when he came on or how good he was or how people dug it or responded. It was already done.
Yeah.
So like that run is really, really awesome, but it didn't matter.
Yeah, it's so weird. And that run is so good. Yeah, I've been listening to their episodes talking about it. And yeah, it's awesome, but weird. It's like, yeah, editorial had axed it, but they still had to do these issues. I don't know if this is like commitments to newsstands and to distributors or something that they had to fulfill like a certain amount. I don't know, but yeah. So
why wouldn't you have the amazing tracing guy and Vince Coletta like do the last issues when you know it's going into the bin?
Yeah. Last issues by Dan Adkins and Vince Coletta. Yeah. That's a dream team. No, but I'm glad. I mean, as far as the X-Men goes, I mean, I'm so glad that Neil Adams and Roy Thomas did that run. It's one of the only like X-Men Marvel masterworks that I own, and I love it. I read it every year.
Well, I need to read it.
Yeah, I'll loan it to you. It's really, really great.
Yeah. So back to this one though. 1 out of 10, you give it a 9 or 8.5 or a 9?
Those are my two options, an 8.5 or a 9, right? All right. Yeah.
No, it's not fun.
No.
I don't know what I think of Doug's decision to have them make a jaunt into New York City on the way home just to try this out in the city of superheroes. Again, like I feel like it would have been less jarring if he had just gone to LA and gone on a date with Topaz there. Yeah. And encountered something like throwing Iron Man in was a bucket of cold water on this. Like we were saying recently, like this could have become a Curtis mag or something that's not Comics Code approved and become a little darker. This literally went the opposite way. Instead of going darker, more violent, and like vigilante, monster justice, Masked Marauders talking like Sideshow Bob, and Iron Man's running around and Jarvis is jacking off on his fur coat. Like I don't know.
I know this was painful.
Yeah.
Hurts.
Like I almost considered like suggesting we just do the last 2 issues in one episode, but it's like, no, we have standards here.
I guess
at Howell Balcom Co.
Yeah. Can we come up with some different games or something we can play while going through the next issue? We need to do something because I feel like this was a slog for us to do.
Have you ever heard of the verb drinking game? When there's a verb you drink?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, maybe we just need to get shit-faced drunk as we go through it.
There was a nice letter. Do you want to read a letter?
I do.
Splendid.
So yeah, we got an email from Zach Bishop, and he says, "Hey, Matt and Jacob, I came to the podcast around the crossover issues with Tomb of Dracula and have been a fan ever since. I'd only read the Werewolf by Night omnibus a few years ago, as well as Tomb, so it was all fresh in my mind. You guys really capture the stories, characters, and art in a vivid way that's as entertaining as it is insightful. Keep up the great work, and hopefully we can hear more about the Shaggy one in the future." So yeah, that was great.
Yeah, thank you, Zach. I appreciate that. He's on Twitter as The Business, BISNESS, and he does videos that are like reviews of movies and stuff like that. And yeah, he's entertaining. He's been supporting us for quite a while, from the beginning, more or less, or since Dracula.
Yeah, no, it's really nice that a lot of the people that started with us and were on from the very beginning or right around the very beginning are giving us some feedback at the end. I love it.
Yeah. I don't think Zach left a review for us. We can't send him buttons, unfortunately.
Well, he just needs to give us his address. We'll send him some buttons.
Yeah. I'm going to post pictures of the buttons you made me, just so people get a little incentive.
Oh, well, those were special ones I made you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know,
Okay.
creme de la creme and whatnot. So how about, is there anything else, or can we do a little werewolf multimedia?
I think we should go and talk about the movie we watched.
Werewolf Multimedia.
So last night, Jacob came over for a movie, and we watched Werewolves Within, which came out this summer. It was a very small little film. It was directed by Josh Rubin, and he is an award-winning actor, writer, director who made another film called Scare Me, which he wrote and directed and starred in, and that debuted at the Sundance Film Festival in 2020. And AMC's platform Shudder, which I'm a huge fan of. I've been there for the last couple of years. They bought the advanced rights to it. It's I haven't watched it yet. I didn't realize that was him, but I'm going to add it to my queue now. It's a horror comedy that looks pretty fun. And so he did this one, and this one is a great little cast. It's definitely a comedy horror, I'd say, more than a horror comedy. Barely even a horror film. I mean, really. But yeah, I mean, let's talk about who's in this.
Okay, so it's starring Sam Richardson and Milana Vaintrub. And I know Sam Richardson from
Detroiters.
Yeah, from Detroiters. And
I think You Should Leave.
Yeah, he's been in, especially the first season of I Think You Should Leave, which are both great. And then Milana Vaintrub has been in some things, some TV stuff. But yeah, I think she's most known as Lily from the Verizon commercials, right?
Yeah, she's a super cute Verizon girl.
Yes. Yeah. And
she's hilarious.
She was great. Like, yes. I thought the chemistry and just the way that that Sam Richardson and her played off of each other was really good. Like really good comic timing.
Yeah, it carried a lot of the film.
Yeah, it did. Even though I mean, everyone in the film was great, really. And there's people that I had known, Sarah Burns, Catherine Curtin, Wayne Duvall.
Yeah, Michael Chernus in the Amazon Prime series Patriot plays the main character's brother. He's fucking hilarious in that, and he's hilarious in this. It also has Michaela Watkins, who was in Wayne. She was on SNL for 2 seasons, like in 2008.
She's in a lot of great stuff.
She's in a ton of stuff. She's hilarious. I love her. Yeah, great cast. And George Basil, who was in Flaked, which is a Netflix series that had the guy that plays Job in it. And he's also in Crashing, which is on HBO, which is a show about, what's his name? Holmes. Yeah, does the Batman impressions, like on the comedy Funny or Die. Totally blanking on his name, but he did like a autobiographical series about him being raised as a Christian and leaving his wife and becoming a stand-up comic. And it has tons of comics playing themselves in it, but George Basil plays the guy who ruins his marriage. He's this hippie who's sleeping with his wife, and he's you can't hate him because he's this super laid-back stoner dude named Leaf. And even though he's fucking your wife, you still like him because he's super charming in a hippie way. He's hilarious in this as well as a white trash dude.
Yeah, and it has Guillermo from What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh yeah, Harvey Guillen.
Yeah, he's great. Now him and Cheyenne Jackson are really great. They play like a rich tech couple who have moved to this town.
Upstate New York, right? Is that where it's supposed to be?
Well, it's like Vermont.
Vermont, you're right.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I think
Vermont.
it's Vermont. Weirdly enough, this movie is based on a video game.
Yeah, which I don't know that game.
I don't know that game either.
So it sounds kind of like Clue or like, what's that one now? Among Us or something, where it's like someone is the werewolf and you have to kind of suss out, like, you know, you're the werewolf when you start playing and you have to do certain thing. I don't know. I'm not going to talk about it because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah. But I mean, this movie had, just the way that it's structured, it definitely has some inspiration taken from The Beast Must Die, I would think. Definitely.
10 Little Indians, that whole kind of concept. Yeah, that The Beast Must Die used.
It's funny you said Clue because I actually thought about that as we watched towards the ending. And I was just like, oh, this movie might have benefited from like a Clue the movie kind of ending to where it shows like different scenarios.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought that might have worked maybe a little better.
Yeah. It was, I enjoyed it. I laughed quite a bit. I don't know. That was pretty charming.
I thought it was really good. It was really going to be like one of my favorite movies of the year, but the third act was, a little disappointing. But
yeah, but I don't think it, held up all the way through, but the performances were so good that it carried some of the story stuff for me.
No, I'd still really recommend it. I mean, it's really, really funny. And in the end, it's just, it's pretty cute. It's pretty funny, not super gory or hardly really a horror film at all, but pretty good. I don't mind that we watched it. It was fun watching it with you.
Yeah, I had a blast watching it. I would watch it again actually at some point.
Yeah, I would too.
It's a shame. It definitely felt like a like if you go to horror movie festivals, this would be like one of the higher end features that was a little more polished than anything else. So this had a budget of $6.5 million, and unfortunately, it came out during Delta summer, and so it brought in just shy of $1 million. So,
that's sad.
Check it out. Rent it from. I don't even think it's a Redbox. Honestly, I think you have to just get it through Prime or Play or Apple, whatever. But check it out. It's worth it.
I think it is. That's really too bad because I think in any other non-COVID times, I think this would have been a little minor sleeper hit. I think people would have really enjoyed going to see it. Yeah,
I think it would have been a sleeper as well. And what's her name? Alana Weintraub?
Weintraub?
Yeah, she's super cute. Sorry, I just had to say it one more time.
Okay, you've said it twice. We are gentlemen.
We watched this with my wife.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I said the same thing a couple times. So this is not like some sleazy, she knows.
Yeah.
She's cool with it.
Your wife knows. She's fine.
Yep. Jarvis knows. I've told everybody.
Yeah. As long as Jarvis knows, then that's cool by me.
So I did not notice that Cheyenne Jackson and Harvey Guillen's characters who are married, their last names were Wolfson. I do not remember that. I'm saying that now.
Well, that's great. They were both so good.
They were hilarious.
Cheyenne Jackson is awesome. And everything I see him and he's great.
So I honestly did not know who he was before this.
Yeah. I mean, isn't he in Doom Patrol?
Oh, he is?
I thought so.
Okay.
Yeah. He's in like American Horror Story. Well, he was in 30 Rock.
He was in Glee.
Yeah. I know him from 30 Rock. He played Danny.
Okay. I didn't watch 30 Rock much. I like the first season or two. Okay. Well, anyway, he was great. Everyone was great.
Yeah. Well, he's in Watchmen too. He played Hooded Justice.
Really?
In the kind of the TV show within the show, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. No, he's great.
Well, anyway, Werewolves Within. I give it a B+. A-.
Definitely. I would definitely give it a B+.
Yeah.
I would recommend it. I have.
You have. I have audio evidence. All right. Well, don't forget to send in your ballots for our votes about top threes. We would love to have your opinions before we share ours.
Yeah, I'm about halfway through mine so far.
You're really thinking it through, aren't you?
I am thinking it through.
That's cute.
Yeah.
I love that. I feel like I'm going to dash mine out and then regret it mid-show. Knowing me, I procrastinate, then I cram, and then I feel bad. But I always manage to skirt by. I've never had to pay for that.
Story of your life.
It is the story of my life. So you can find us on Instagram at werewolfbynightpodcast, separated by underscores. And of course, we're on Twitter at werewolfpodcast. And you can email us your ballots. You can send them to us on those platforms as well, or email them to werewolfbynightpodcast@gmail.com. We would love to get your votes. Remember, those are ranked. So that is not random. That is your top three in order.
We're going to have to send a reminder to Brad Elmore because I really want his thoughts on this.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has to do his homework. He can't skip out on this.
He kind of is like the third. The third. Well,
he is our third co-host.
I guess I think of Jesus as my third co-host, but okay.
No, Brad comes before Jesus every time.
Your goddamn secular ways.
Yeah. No, so Brad as our, let's just say our official third co-host, has to chime in.
Yeah, I agree. Brad, I know you're out there, baby.
Yeah.
Just fill out the fucking forms.
Come on. You know you want to.
Just send it in. Hangman.
Yeah.
Best supporting character, Hangman. Best villain, Hangman.
Best moment, Hangman's origin.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta admit, man, just a bunch of like random storylines and stuff just keep popping up in my head, and they're all so much better than this issue. Like, remember Vampires on the Moon? Louis Belsky? Remember, name a fucking story.
Name a story, and it's going to be better than China Man.
Yep.
Even when they go to that crazy mystical realm in Giant Size Werewolf, what was that, 5? Where did they go?
A lot of people hate that one.
Yeah, they do. Where did they go? I've put it out of my mind already.
The Pangloss?
Pangloss. Biphasia. See, I would rather be in Biphasia than deal with Trianaman and Iron Man.
Yeah, I would too. All right, folks. So yeah, those buttons are still out there for the taking, though. So if you want to leave us a 5-star review on a platform and send us a screenshot of those, we would love to send you some buttons. That's my takeaway here. So there's buttons. Yeah,
there's always buttons forever.
So it's weird that next week this is our final regular episode.
It's weird.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for listening this week. Please join us for our final regular episode next week. Till we meet again beneath the full moon, for everyone's, here's howling at you.